Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Shadow and Sun Show. It's been a while. We've had a really long weekend. Just wanted to hit you guys up with a couple updates and let you know a couple of things that have gone on and are going on, and why you might have missed a couple of our videos last week. We had, as you guys may have already heard, a big old birthday bash for the little guy who also just started summer school today, so he's going to be a little scarce for the next couple of weeks. He's doing summer school to knock out a particular class so that he has a lot more wiggle room in his studies, and also to really sort of push forward for his his life goals. And um, you know I'll let him talk about that later when he's on. He's actually getting ready for bed. He's got to be up early in the morning tomorrow. But we had a huge birthday party, including we started it off with a really cool little segment over at Max's Chill Stream Friday night, and I want to thank everybody out there who was a part of that. That really made the night and the whole weekend, uh, you know, incredibly memorable. A night to remember that he will never forget, mostly because his face is still red from embarrassment. So thank you guys, everybody who was there singing along. It was really kind of cool. And we had a big birthday party that lasted all Saturday, and then Sunday. We were hanging out with Connell, who's in the chat right now. Gonna find a way to send him the link if I can find it. Let's see, where is that link? And then we had our usual 2 hour show with Connell, and then we did our little paint video, and the little guy opened up a couple of cool presents from DM James and our good friend Grim to Say. Thank you guys again. Little guy was just totally blown away. He really had very little knowledge of what was showing up in the mail. I just let him know something was coming from each of you guys, and he really, you guys saw the video. He was really blown away by it. And Connell's trying to tell me where the link is, but I'm not seeing it. It's weird. Sorry about that. That was me having issues with trying to find the link because I'm not seeing the search. There's nothing in the search bar, buddy. Yeah, there's nothing there. Maybe I'll get the little guy to give me a hand in a second here. Uh, yeah, I'm just not seeing it. But don't worry, Connell. As soon as I figure this out, I'll have you in the live so we can chat and see how you're doing. Also, wanted to real quickly. Hope you guys had a great 4th of July. We had another little barbecue for the 4th of July, including all of our friends from the birthday party, and that lasted well until like 11 o'clock. Barbecuing hot dogs and burgers out in the front yard, and lighting off some fireworks. It was really weird. My whole neighborhood was dead quiet in the front yards. We live in like a cul-de-sac, and nobody was out doing fireworks. Out of the 20 houses in our immediate visual range, nobody was doing fireworks in their front yards. However, I suspect that a lot of the illegal fireworks were being shot off from people's backyards to avoid the authorities and that sort of nonsense. And they were incredible fireworks this year. We had just absolutely a blast, watching most of their fireworks before we lit off our own fireworks, which were incredibly expensive. We spent almost twice as much as last year and got half as much for the same price. It was brutal. I'm not sure, how they plan on staying in business next year. If things keep going the way they're going, it was just brutal. And we still had fun. I don't want to poo-poo it, the whole thing, but it was very expensive, and we were blessed and fortunate enough to be able to enjoy the Fourth of July as it was meant to, with friends and family, fireworks, hot dogs, burgers. Even our pooch, who normally is just a wreck, on Fourth of July. It's hell night for dogs in our neighborhood. But he was actually pretty well behaved, hanging out with us in the front yard, to make it nice and soothing for him, and that way he wasn't terrified as much. And this year he was really good, not howling and not crying and not whimpering and things like that. He was just kicking back. He found he swiped one of the chairs that we put out front, and he just found himself a place to sit and mooched a bunch of hot dogs, and we all had just a good old time, and it was pretty cool. Normally, like I said, he will just not enjoy the Fourth of July at all, and maybe because there weren't as many explosions and mostly just the bottle rockets and the skyrockets and things like that. That was most of what we saw. Not a lot of M80s, and didn't hear a lot of screamers and things like that. But a nice assortment of stuff we're not allowed to have here, but yet nobody really shied away from that and slept in the bathtub. Sorry to hear that, man. That's funny and terrifying at the same time, because I don't fit in our bathtub, and it certainly wouldn't be comfortable. I don't know that I'd get much sleeping done. You must have a bigger bathtub than we do, because yeah, no, I couldn't do that. No, that's just I don't think I've ever done that. Yeah, yeah, but we all had a lot of fun. I hope all you guys had as much fun as possible, and we'll see what happens next year. Hopefully, inflation uh, will be better. I know, Connell. I'm sorry to hear that, because it's my second favorite holiday of them all. I just absolutely love fireworks. As a kid, when I was younger than my son, we were able to really scrounge up change from the cushions of the couch and our piggy banks and things like that, and literally go to the fireworks stands every day for weeks. I mean, not just like the week before Fourth of July or the weekend before or whatever, but for like weeks, we could just go there, buy fireworks, and light them off all summer vacation long. And things were cheap. You could buy things for a nickel, 10 cents, 25 cents. For individual, smoke bombs and piccolo peats or screamers, whatever you guys call those things. And we do all kinds of crazy things like light these things. They were called fog cutters, and they were like, it was like a fountain, but all it was just basically a smoke type flare. And we tie them to the back of our bicycles, light them up during the afternoon, and ride around the neighborhood and just smoke everybody out with red, blue, green, yellow smoke, and just toxic nastiness. It's a wonder some of us are still alive. But we'd buy screamers or piccolo peats, and we'd break off the back end, the plastic thing, and we'd either tie them or tape them to our Hot Wheels and then light them, and they would act as jet rockets and just shoot across the neighborhood, over the streets. Or we would do that other trick that makes them go boom. If you guys know it, you know it. If you don't, I'm not telling you, because I'm not getting in any trouble for that one. But it's an old hack that we've known about for many years. And we'd also take others and go down into the sewer tunnels during the day because we couldn't wait until night to light those off, including like your like 10-cent bottle rockets, the really cheesy ones that got that little firecracker looking thing and a like a punk stick on it, and we would take those and we would make these like bottle rocket launchers. Basically take some PVC pipe and turn it into like a toy gun with a little place where if you drop the bottle rocket in the tube, and there'd be a little notch to where you could just light it and then shoot them down the tunnels. Same thing with Roman candles and all kinds of crap like that, and just do all kinds of crazy stuff. But we'd be able to do this for, at least I want to say like 2 weeks before 4th of July, and every penny we had would just go right back into fireworks. And just, summers were great for us back in the old days, and they were cheap, and you get a ton of stuff. We even had those bang sight cannons. My old man got me one of those one year, and as soon as 4th of July rolled around, we'd get a tube with a bang sight, and just boom, 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 all week long, and just make explosions and stuff. And eventually, my cannon shattered a million pieces. That was that. I wish I could get another one. Maybe if we moved to Texas or Arizona, they still have them, but I haven't seen them in 28. Where are you? Are you in Alaska? That's crazy. Sun doesn't go downish until 1 a.m. That's crazy, man. Yeah, you can't do 4th of July until it's time to wake up the next day. So I don't know how you do that. That's weird. Yeah. I mean, you can still do screamers and smoke bombs, though, right? That's something, I guess. I don't know. We didn't even do sparklers this year. We had some, but we never even lit those off. Oh, okay. Well, I hope you got something comparable. When it does get dark earlier, or maybe can you even have fireworks there, or do you guys have another holiday that does that? I don't know. I'm a big dumb idiot sometimes when it comes to stuff like that. The little guy he'd know, but I think he's still in the shower. You know how teenagers are. He's supposed to be. Yeah, we did the same thing with Roman candles, and to be honest, those are my most favorite absolute fireworks of all time. Oh man, if I ever get out of here and to a place where they sell Roman candles, I'm literally going to buy like 100 of them every year and just blast them off every couple of days. If they aren't like $50 each or some crap. Because my old man used to get those for us when we were a kid. We only got them like a couple of years before it was no longer possible. I'm sure you can guess why. And we had so much fun with those things. Those are they're kind of terrifying when you think about it. That they were, making them for so long as a safe and sane type of firework for decades, and he's not in the shower. Hey, buddy, why don't you come up here and show me how to post the link? Smart guy. I'll turn the camera off if you're embarrassed to be on camera right now because you're just out of the shower or something. Yeah, see, Kyle's dying over here. Poor guy. Been all alone with no one to talk to all day. I forgot to tell you guys, I was in a game tonight. That's why we didn't do our Tuesday night video, and Tuesdays may get turned into that. In which case, I'll just do this, where I'll come on late at night. I hope it's not too late for you guys, but I'll come on, after Basic Expert and after my game with DM Bloodworth. It was a lot of fun. Even though I didn't get to cast a single spell as a magic user, I did manage to whack a white on the noggin with my staff, and did some actual damage. But since I'm new to the game, I had the whole they rescued me from a combat, and I had amnesia, and my spell book was missing. We had to go find it, and some other stuff like that. But it was cool. Getting to play again in AD&D and knowing everything about the game and seeing how another dungeon master does it. A dungeon master who I respect and wouldn't really want to mess with, because I've done that in the past when I was younger. Not such a nice guy. I would, rules lawyer and take advantage of situations. And you guys have heard my story of how I killed a wyvern at third, not wyvern, level in front of the, and then after I hit the dragon, the DM, like a dummy, rolls the saving throw in front of everybody, and natural one, and it just fell out of the sky like a Led Zeppelin. And of course we never found a bit of treasure from it, which was my dumb mistake of doing. But it was either that or basically run for our lives for the next hour of the adventure. I'm like, you know what? We just killed some wyverns. I got some wyvern tip venom arrows. I'm gonna take a shot. Natural 20 did. Dragon natural 1 did. I gained enough XP to go up several levels. I think I was a half elf fighter assassin, and the XP just shot me up. But unfortunately, we actually never did play again because of that. He was a good friend of mine as a dungeon master, but I just kind of messed up the game and doing that. So in DM Blood Wars game, I'm not gonna try any of that high level shenanigans. I'm just playing a straight human magic user. I'm 6th level. I got 20 plus hit points. I'm hanging out in the back of the party. I'll throw my spells and then hide in the nearest corner until the monsters are all gone. You want me to put the camera on block or?
No, sure, it's fine.
Okay, the little guy's got to pop in for a second and say howdy to everybody. He just got out of the shower.
Hello.
He looks.
I'm trying to sleep. So.
Oh, God, I'm an idiot. It's not in the search bar. It's.
Wait. Oh no.
Can't you just do what you just?
Yeah, no, I did it dumb. Here we go.
All right. Anybody wants to jump in? You're more than welcome to hang out with me for a while. All right. Okay, I won't bug you again, buddy. Have a good night. I love you, sport. I'll see you in the morning.
Good night.
Did you get your homework done? Oh,
I forgot about that. I'll do that in.
You said it's 3 sentences.
I know, and I'm trying to.
Write fast. Put your hair's wet.
Yeah. No, you're right.
So while your hair dries, turn on the fan. Do your homework. I will see you in the morning, buddy. Say goodbye to everybody.
Adios.
Okay, little guy says bye, everybody. I wasn't alone, but she did have to go home. Yeah, Halloween is my favorite holiday, for all kinds of reasons. None of them, dark or sinister or anything like that, or at least, that's the story, and I'm sticking with it. It's all about the costumes, and not the kind of costumes I would ever wear. I'm just gonna leave it out there like that. That way the little guy won't, hear it, hopefully. But yeah, it's always been my favorite holiday. Back in the day, we, even as a little kid, we got to stay out really, 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 really late all by ourselves. We travel in a pack of, a half dozen kids, and we do, things, the flaming bags of poop, the ivory soap, graffiti on people's windows, and toilet paper in houses, all this stuff, you'd probably go to jail for nowadays or shot. But it was just, except for the flaming bags of poop, it was just good, clean fun, just, it's that one night a year that you're allowed to, be a little stinker. So we were little stinkers, and, we'd go far and wide. We'd go sometimes like 5 miles away from home on our bikes, trick or treating. We'd carry extra bags, and we had places we could, drop the full bags, and hide them in places, and then go fill up another bag and come home with like literally two pillowcases full of candy, and we'd be out till 10, 11 o'clock at night, when even if it was a school night, come to think of it, and we'd go just sometimes we'd even hit the same house twice on the way back, kind of thing. If it looked like people were still home, we would do all that crazy stuff, and as I got older, the parties became more and more adult and more fun. I was in a heavy metal band for a couple of years, and so we did a lot of Halloween related gigs and things like that, and we just it was just an absolutely fun holiday for all of us, as far back as I can remember. Oh, come on in, dude. Hey, man, how the hell are you doing?
Good, you?
Good, you?
I'm doing great, man. I had a good time with DM Bloodworth's game and trying to find the time to work on my own game. I just, like one day I want to work on Gamble World, one day I want to work on Traveler, and I gotta kind of stick to one game and figure out which one I'm going to run. I'm going to do it just like this. Excuse me, guys. I'm smoking too much today. I want to, get a, just theater of the mind, most of it, and just, come up with some maps that I can hand out before the game somehow on Discord or something like that. And just, make it as simple as possible. No miniatures, I figure with Gamble World and Traveler, it'll be a lot easier, less actual dungeons and, things that people have to, map out and stuff like that. Just, roughly describe the areas when combat, is a thing. But with Traveler, you can do a whole lot without actually having to do a lot of combat. It needs some. I mean, every game you gotta roll some dice. You can't just be flapping my gums the whole time. And with Gamble World, it's kind of the same thing. I think just describe an area, and when the mutants jump out, you just blast them, and I can't really picture Gamble World being super heavy on hand-to-hand combat. Same with Traveler. I mean, it could, but I mean, come on, who doesn't want to blast some mutants, right? Or robots?
You see, I grew up. There's an echo. And I'm pretty sure it's not.
How can it be me?
I don't know. Hold on.
Because I don't have anything else on.
Yeah, neither do I.
How about now? You still hear it?
Yeah, it's only when I talk.
Okay, because I'm not hearing anything. I mean, I'm hearing you, and I'm hearing me, but no echo.
Let me leave and I'll come.
Okay. That usually fixes it. Yes, there will be robots. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, there's robots in Gamble World, and I definitely want robots in my Traveler game. I just don't know if I want to use the old, because I'm probably going to go with Traveler Basic. As much as I want to do Mongoose, I want to make it easy for new players to play. So I'm probably going to go with classic Traveler. The red books with all the other, the little mini digest books. That way, if any new players want to come in, I could, maybe photocopy stuff or what have you, and just have one game session where we just make up characters, and if you die during character generation, well, that's a big fat myth as far as I'm concerned. It's pretty damn hard to literally die in character generation. It can happen, but I don't think I'm going to push that envelope.
I don't.
I don't.
There it is.
There it is.
Yes. I agree, Mark. That's for Gamma World. That's what still echo.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. One more
All
thought.
right, one more thought.
What was that? Gonna do it again? You think it's something else? Ah.
Is that better?
Is that better?
I wasn't hearing an echo to begin with.
Oh, maybe it's just me.
Oh, maybe it's just me.
You hearing an echo?
Yeah, I hear myself.
Yeah, I hear myself.
That's usually because you've got two devices on, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I only have
One device
one.
on.
one.
So
That's
tell
always
us about your weekend
That's
and
always something.
tell us about your weekend and your special guest.
If I'm getting
Everyone getting
everything's off.
off.
Sorry, man.
Um.
Are you guys at home hearing an echo from either of us? Mark, 28, little guy. You guys hearing an echo?
That's funny because
That's funny because the echo
cancellator
is
collect. How about now? Fuck.
No,
Fuck.
I'm not hearing an echo at all.
And now?
No.
Yep.
There it is.
Yeah, I heard a little bit there, but it also glitched as you spoke.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Are you now in a submarine?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, my weekend was working. 4th of July was working until about 7. Then drunk. Tequila and orange juice? Pineapple? One of the two. Look back through the scoop. I got that.
All right, we'll bear with. Okay, it's disappeared, come back. But yeah, I'm thinking of actually maybe even home brewing robots for Traveler. I just want them to be, kind of like C-3PO / Metropolis, walking, clunky sort of, goofy robots. Not goofy, but you know what I mean. Or absolutely terrifying, assassin droids, HK-47 style or something like that. Along with the big, robot trucks and heavy lifters and things like that, and maybe some sort of, kind of R2 type, innocuous little things that, are bipping and bopping around, the streets of the big city that the players are currently in or what have you. Let's bring Connell back. Add to the stream.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Don't echo.
It's not as bad. Before, when you talk, it's like the first couple of words are fine, and then the last part of the sentence like garbles up. But that's my idea for robots for Traveler. Gamma World, I'll just stick with the robots in the book for a while until things get really hairy. But my Gamma World game is coming along a little farther, a little faster. It's a little easier. But I'm probably going to go with second edition Gamma World, which is basically just first edition with a little cleanup, a little more, not really a lot added to the rules per se, but just everything's a little bit cleaner in most cases. I'm doing a review on Gamma World third edition tomorrow, and you guys will understand why I don't want to use third edition. And fourth edition, while I'm still reading that, I don't like the class system. There's like 3 character classes, or maybe 4 character classes in Gamma World, and everything's just a lot more complicated. And I myself only have a PDF of it. And it's it's a lot bigger book, but it's got a lot of stuff in it I just don't like. I don't like the skill system. I'd rather not use either of those 2 versions. If I could, and money wasn't an issue, I'd probably run like 4th or 5th or 6th, whatever the edition of Gamma World was that had the hardback books. I used to have it, and like a dummy, I sold them, and I wish I never did, because it was actually I think it was a D20 Gamma World maybe, and it was pretty sweet. I really liked it, but I never ran it. I really liked what I read, but asking people that I know to go out and shell out a couple $100 to play a game online when they could, maybe get Gamma World second edition for free. It's kind of a no-brainer. So, what'd you try?
I just went back to my laptop. I wasn't winning either way. So
Exalted Funeral. I've never heard of that. I'm gonna have to. You know me, guys. I'm always taking notes. Let me write that down. Like ray guns and robots. On Exalted Funeral. Tell us more about that, Mark. I've never heard of either of those things. I'm guessing Exalted Funeral is a game company, and Ray Guns and Robots is the game. Because I don't really want it to, be like a Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers kind of RPG. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Mark, that he had 2 windows open. How about now?
One.
Still, huh?
Yeah. The only mic that is open is my laptop. But the only thing I have open is this.
That's really weird. Because all I've got even in this room is my tablet that I usually run this on, and
they used to say if you hear an echo on the phone, that means somebody's listening.
Yeah. I don't know who that could be. Little guy, I think he's still on, but he's downstairs, so that's not an option. He's on his phone.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's on the roof. I just don't know how. Did you guys get a chance to watch the part B?
No, we have not. Little guy started summer school today, and that was kind of a shock to me. I thought he didn't start until like next week or the week after, and he's going from early in the morning until mid afternoon, and he's doing that for the next 3 weeks. So that's gonna make his time really really limited. That's why I was telling him to go downstairs and finish his dang homework because he forgot about that. And here it is, almost 10 o'clock. And normally on a school night we try to get him in bed by 9. And then we'll he'll do the summer school for 3 weeks. Then he'll have 2 weeks off. We'll still do our Sunday hangout with you, and we'll still do most of our regular videos. But our Tuesday videos might go by the wayside if I really get into this game with Bloodworth. It really seemed like a lot of fun, and any chance I get to play, I'm going to kind of try and jump on it. I've been dungeon mastering for, I figured, over 41 years, and I can count on 2 hands the times I've actually been a player. And these aren't like campaigns; these are actual games that I was a player. So, between Crafty, Bruce, and Bloodworth, that's 3 more to add. So I actually, almost filled out 2 hands worth of playing, and I really want to get more of that, do more of that. It's actually helping me in the way I think about dungeon mastering. A lot of the things I've been doing lately have helped for that. Making me see things through the player's eyes, because for so long, I'm not going to say I didn't care, but I didn't have to worry about it. My players were happy. I was happy, but, every once in a while, it's nice to, step out of your comfort zone and do something new. And, I'm just going to, enjoy the ride as long as I can.
Right. We have Bruce's campaign that's coming Saturday.
Yes, we do. I'm glad I got all my other chores more or less out of the way. I got a couple lawns to mow this week, but that's nothing. That's like, an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of pushing a lawnmower around, and then, I'm more or less free and clear for Saturday. And we're right in the middle of combat when we left off, weren't we?
No. But combat was
it was like imminent, right?
Yeah.
Hobgoblins?
I don't remember.
Or more ogres and giants and trolls?
I literally slept and drank since then.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm looking forward to it. I'll do my paladinly thing, and I'm just there for the I want to say the role playing side of it. I know some of our players aren't really considering this a role playing game, but like I said a long time ago, all games are role playing games. To me, at least, I'm pretending to be somebody I'm not, even if I'm just pretending to be the top hat in Monopoly. I'm pretending to be something I'm not, and I want to get sucked into the game. And if other people are not into it, that's cool. I play a lot of games that aren't role playing games. Little guy and I are going to start playing some BattleTech, and I'm going to pretend I'm a pilot of a giant stompy robot, or I'm the commander of a bunch of giant stompy robots.
Well, most of these games, you only get out of it what you put into it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Bruce's game might not be the stereotypic RPG, but it's worth playing.
Oh hell yeah! Just getting to hang out with you and Bruce and Joe and all the gang, that's a hell of a lot of fun for me.
Joe makes that game special.
That guy should have his own TV show. I don't know what the hell he's doing over there, but that guy is one of the funniest people I've ever listened to. He's got a cool style to him, and if he doesn't find a way to bottle that and sell it, he is a knucklehead.
He's
not
much older than
much
your
older
son.
than your son.
Yeah, I do. He's like 18. And
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
If things were different, I'd actually, want my son to hang out with a guy like that. Just so some of that would rub off. At least the accent. How funny would that be? So hey, I've been meaning to ask you, man. Yeah, I'm reading the Dresden. The second book was really good. We talk, D&D all the freaking time. Do you do any sci-fi? Books, games, video games, anything like that? TV shows besides Star Trek?
I do enjoy sci-fi.
It's your like B versus your fantasy or A.
I haven't been
in a game.
RPG wise was really sci-fi. I do play Starfleet from the 60s.
Okay. I played a bunch of that, but that was literally 40 years ago, and I never won a single game of it. Actually, I played one game in the 90s. I also lost my ass, but it was a steep learning curve for me, and Star Trek was never my there was a while that Star Trek was my go-to sci-fi, but then that was because it was like my first visual sci-fi. I read lots of sci-fi books before then, but as a little kid, Star Trek was it. There was nothing else really to watch. And then, I started watching all kinds of other stuff, reading more stuff and more and more and more. And Star Trek just kept getting pushed farther and farther back. I've got the original Star Trek log books that I read as a kid. I've got 2 copies of the Starfleet Manual and the Heritage Star Trek game, the Fastest Star Trek game, the Modifius Star Trek game, and I have no intention of playing any of those ever, but they're just in my collection. I'm more of a cross between Starship Troopers and Firefly, and what else would I guess honestly it would be Traveler would be one of my biggest sci-fi loves of all time, because it was everything. And there's in my Traveler collection there's 30 plus books of Traveler sci-fi, just greatness. But I've been reading a new series of books lately in my free time, and by reading I mean listening to on YouTube, and that's the Bolo series. Anybody out there ever heard of that? Bolos are these gigantic 30,000 ton tanks that protect planets and go to war. They're basically like ogres from the game Ogre. And I always wanted to read them. I picked up one of the books, and I didn't even make it but like 20 or 30 pages into the book before I'm like, okay, YouTube, hook me up. And I've been listening to a bunch of YouTube videos on the Bolo series, and it's making me want to play some Traveler Striker or something like that, or of course BattleTech. We're going to hook up on that, or maybe even play some Ogre this summer with the kid, because that's a quick little. It's like a war game. It's a miniature war game where one player plays the role of the cybernetic tank, and then the other player plays a small army trying to defeat it. And you usually get stomped by the Ogre because it's just a big, gigantic, massive, armored castle, basically, that just rolls across the ground and just destroys all your little crap, one piece at a time, turn by turn. And I just curious if, Mark or 28 out there have ever read any of the books, because I know it's going pretty far back. Some stuff was written later on by other authors and stuff like that, but it's one of those books that was always on my list, and I finally just decided to take the plunge and give it a read. And if I have time, I'll read a couple of chapters tonight before bed, or listen to some videos. I should have wrote down who I'm listening to. There's one guy out there. He's great. He's a small YouTuber, but he just knows the stuff. And he's about your age, and he's just like fully into it. So I was just wondering what kind of sci-fi you do besides Star Trek, if you've ever played any or ever had any interest in it. And if
Dark
so,
Heresy, which is Warhammer.
Well, what did you say before that?
Dark Heresy.
Dark Heresy. That sounds like Warhammer.
It is. Like Firefly. I just don't have very many that like sci-fi games.
Gotcha. It's fair. I
read sci-fi.
Like.
What was the last sci-fi book? Well, sci-fi in a sense, but it's science-based.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Hawking.
Steve who? Hawking. Oh, okay. That's not science fiction. Well, it could be. Depends on how you look at it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the way I look at it. All until you go there, all your theories and ideas to me are just.
I mean, I was somewhat of a dick. The other day. Somebody said if we could only pick one person from a non-fiction book to save you, who would you pick? I wrote down Jesus.
How's that, Dickie?
Because it was at church.
But they said nonfiction, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that works.
Fiction. I'm sorry.
Okay, because that's okay. Now you're being a dick.
Yeah.
See, that's not cool.
Fiction. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's like saying I don't want to go to this church anymore. Here's my reason why.
Yeah,
I wrote down Mothership. I will check it out because I heard Shauner talking about it last week, and I'm like, I'll check out just about everything. I'll give it a look, see, and that's why I got to really be careful with Wikipedia and reading about books, because like I was looking for something to read, and I went through like 20 books, and I'm like, I don't want to read that now. If I would have bought the book and then just said, okay, I'll put it on my shelf, someday down the road I might have picked it up and said, I'm going to read this. I never read this. It's been in my collection for X number of years. I'll finally give it a whirl. It was the same way with Jack Vance books. I got them. I'm like, okay, they're in the DMG as inspired reading for the Dungeon Master's Guide. And hey, Shauna, we were just talking about you. And I didn't read them until this last year, just a couple months ago, and I absolutely loved them. I wish I would have read the Dying Earth books. I wish I would have read them 40 years ago. And it's just one of those things. You buy something and you put it on a shelf and you don't read it. Then when you finally get around to reading it, you're like, oh man, I should have read it the second I got it. So hey, Shauner, how the hell are you? I want to thank you again for playing along Friday, man. That really, really made my son's day, night, evening, weekend. He was absolutely just blown away, man. Yeah, you really came through like a champ. Not that we could hear one voice over another,
Thank
but
God.
It really meant a lot to him, and we really appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay.
Sean's saying earbuds. We kind of tried that.
I looked at my list for sci-fi. Things I have read.
Gotcha.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I did not like it.
Michael Crichton's
Jurassic
Park.
Uh-huh. I did see the movie Day of the Triffids. Crack in the World. Did I write that down before? Because that sounds new to me. And
Go for it.
I was going to ask Shauna, did the guy who wrote Star Viking write anything else? Yeah, definitely read Howard. I know Shauna can't stand him, but if you like Conan, that's where you start. And some of his other stuff too. I like him, but I like those old timey authors. Just to get the feel. It's like if you want to play Call of Cthulhu, you got to read some Lovecraft. I mean, that's it's just they just go together. Yeah, Connell's a great guy. 1984, Day of the Triffids, FTW. Yeah, that's one of those movies. My old man said you got to watch this, and I'm like, I don't know when and how my old man actually watched all these sci-fi movies. He was always working. I mean, my whole life he worked until he couldn't work no more, and then he was in the hospital, and then that's all she wrote. And I'm like, when did he ever get? He never went to the theater without us, and most of these movies were coming out, kind of after I was born, but he was like going off to the theater while he was at work, kind of thing. Go into a theater by himself and watch these movies, or maybe with friends from work. But I don't know when he ever got the opportunity to watch these movies. But man, he hooked me up with some great movies.
One, two.
And Fuzzy something. Damn it! Was it the Fuzzies, maybe? That he wrote, or just Fuzzy? Oh, yeah. You don't get to have cigars. Who's stopping you?
That's the reason why I divorced my wife.
Is it? That's the only reason?
No.
Okay, because I'm like, man, that is some dedication, dude. Seriously, what? Can't smoke? All right. On the phone with the first lawyer you can find in the Yellow Pages.
Both of us need headphones.
But I'm not echoing. Am I echoing? Because I've got nothing to echo from.
Tell you what. Here in about 30
minutes.
I'll do one. I'll go on SteamYard.
I'll tell you what, better yet, why don't I'm cruising up on an hour. So let's just go 7-ish minutes, and then we'll do that. We'll just swap.
Okay.
Because that way, I know we got like a bunch of people watched our 4-hour stream with me and the little guy doing politics for 2 hours, and basically it was him, and I just sat there painting. But we'll just do an hour, and like I said, then we'll swap and see if that works. How am I echoing him? That's weird. Until I type that. That's funny.
Maybe we just roll over to Shauner's, and neither one of us walked back here.
Well, actually, no. I think the last time I was hanging out with him, he made me put on headphones. They're right over there, and I couldn't hear shit. But I've got them. I could try that. I'll grab them when I go over to your show but we're just going to do this for another 5 minutes of babbling, and then we'll see if that makes things better. Because if it's me, maybe it is because of my freaking tablet, but it's a brand new tablet, and I've
Right.
No, I
like to think
it's
just internet
just
being
internet being
wonky.
wonky.
My problem with
My problem with sci-fi.
Oh wait, Good Omens is
Good
sci-fi.
Omens is sci-fi.
All right, my problem with
sci-fi
is I could never see past tomorrow. I have that problem being
a
realist. So sci-fi never did it for me. I don't think as a civilization will ever make it to space.
Well, see, that's what I like what Sean always says is science fiction is fantasy. I've always thought the same thing. And, I actually use a lot of fantasy in my science fiction. A lot of my games actually have spells. There's a lot of... Sean, have you ever seen... is it like Love, Sex, and Robots or Love, Death, and Robots? The animated series on Netflix or whatever. You ever seen that? There's some, I want to say at least one of them where there's like demons or some crap in one of them. Sorry, I was just reading what Hell sent, but yeah, I throw a lot of fantasy in my science fiction from time to time, and I've never had a problem with it. Sometimes maybe it's a little bit too much and a little close to being like Spelljammer, but I look at Star Wars and a couple other things, to be very similar to I know Star Wars is a science fantasy technically. That's the genre.
Star Wars
is daddy issues.
Right.
I'm
sorry.
Yeah, you got to bring it up every time, but it's cool.
It's
I'm not saying you're wrong, not at all. But
the
it's
crowd,
just,
crowd
I hang out with. It's either Tolkien is God or George Lucas is God. And I'm the guy in the middle saying you're both fucking wrong. They're like, how so?
Yeah, I can take both in moderation, and as I get older, my patience for them, wears thinner and thinner a little more every day. I've done it so much. I mean, back in the 80s, Star Wars and Tolkien, in the gaming community were venerated above like everything. And that's why I really do go into the older science fiction and fantasy. Who did Lucas read? Who did Tolkien read? Those are the books I want to read. That way I can, see what really inspired them and, finding out what Tolkien read. I don't have that kind of money, just laying around.
Tolkien was just into mythology.
He was the first writer of his kind,
realistically.
I mean, you had the story of Beowulf. Then he had all the Greek mythologies. But there wasn't anyone making their own language worldwide as Tolkien. I mean, that can't be 100% right. But no one else can
come up. I'm sure there are other people, but that's why you got to do the deep dives in the libraries and look for these things. But we're hitting the 1 hour mark, so let's say adios until we say hola again in on your stream and see if that makes things better. And that way, the people who come over to my channel won't be watching me for 2 hours. I know it's hard for me to watch a video over an hour long unless it's Sean, and then not a problem. But everybody else, I got stuff to do, man. I got stuff. I got to smoke a cigarette every hour, so.
So for those who wish to hear the rest of this conversation, come follow us over at Cigar, DM, remember to like this video, and we'll see you here momentarily.